the top five, your very existence is a cauldron of pressure. And that is ratcheted up when you go on the road. And this highly ranked squad has found itself coming into a snake pit in this one. Welcome to Nashville, Tennessee, First Bank Stadium, home to the Commodores of Vanderbilt. As we'll see the number 3 team in the country, the Georgia Bulldogs, taking on another team from the SEC, the Vanderbilt Commodores. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, joined here in the booth by David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, let's get this thing started. The Commodores will get us started with the opening kickoff. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. So Georgia's offense will start this game off with the football. And are we ever lucky to see these two great quarterbacks in action here today? And Jesse, it won't be long before we'll see them squaring off on Sundays.
Yeah, these guys can both stress a defense for similar reasons, and we've seen it all year long, right? Both guys have tremendous arm talent, and both guys can hurt you running the football as well. So these defenses are really going to have to be careful with how they try and defend these two quarterbacks, David. This one could come down to which guy has the ball last.
Yeah, which is really, really cool. A big showdown. They know what's on the line. Man, these are two huge names, Brand versus...
And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44.
And the defense gets a sack, and that's going to be the big determining factor in this football game. A week ago, he only got sacked one time. They've already got him on the ground. If they want to win this football game, they got to keep getting after the quarterback.
The Dogs trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Back to pass, it's Stockton, working that wide receiver screen. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain. It'll be 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. Nowhere to go with the ball, and down he goes at the 39.
How about this defense coming out the gates? First drive, getting to the quarterback. They wanted to affect the quarterback, make him feel uncomfortable. Already 2 sacks on this first drive.
Georgia lining up to punt it away. First time we've seen their punt team this afternoon. That thing was down for a while, but the big bounce carried it into the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. So the Vanderbilt Commodores offense will try to get something started with their first possession. And we've got a superb matchup to watch here, David. One of the best quarterbacks in the country, and how much will he be willing to challenge one of the best corners in the land?
Well, and it's going to be more interesting to me, Jesse, do they let him make a play? Like, does he choose to go after him and believe in his ability and believe in his matchups, or do they stay away from him? Because a lot of people stay away from him. He's that good out wide that you don't want that smoke. And I'm interested to see, Jesse, if he has the onions to go after the corner and try to make plays.
Well, one thing we know about him for sure is he's a believer in his own arm talent. He's the kind of guy that thinks he can fit the football into the smallest windows, but you're right. He's got to pick his battles and be careful when he decides to attack this guy, because he has picked off some really good quarterbacks in the past, and you know he's just licking his chops, hoping for a chance today.
Punt is in the air. They make the stop, and that is exactly what you want out of your punt cover unit. They'll get this drive started from the 29. Off the play fake on first down. Got his man on the right. He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a first down. They'll have to hustle if they want to get off another snap before the end of the period. To the air, it's Stockton. Plucks it out of the air. There he goes. They get him on the ground, and with that, we'll head to the second quarter. Defense has dominated the early part of this game, and the stats point that out emphatically. Sometimes you see the offenses sort of settle in, find areas to probe after that first quarter. First play of the period will be a second down. They go to the ground. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. And the Bulldogs are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. He'll pull it on the read. They'll move the chains. Good execution on 3rd down. They've got it at the 41. First down, 10 yards to go. Motion from the wide receiver. An unforced error there. They don't get the snap off in time. That is a completely avoidable penalty. The quarterback just went into brain lock and lost track of the play clock. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Snags it inside the 20. Perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle at the 17.
Well, Reese, you and I were talking about this before the game. How is this defense going to be able to deal with all the speed they have offensively? You saw them just rip off a big play.
And, Jesse, now their head's spinning just a little bit. Give up a big chunk play, and it's right back at him. He's got his man, makes the grab. That's about as close as you can get to that marker, and it will be second and just a few breaths away from the first down. To throw, it's Stockton. Under fire. And the Heat gets there, and they get it down at the 14-yard line.
Man, this offense, they gotta find something. They gotta get in the rhythm somehow. So far, no success, not protecting the quarterback. Really, the only good thing I can say so far is they haven't turned the football over.
We'll take a quick break here. 2 minutes to play in the first half. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd down, he'll try to pick it up through the air. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll go to the sideline and try to make adjustments. And they're going to head out to line up for a field goal. And it's right down the boulevard. And with that, they break the seal on the scoring. It's 3-0. Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
All right, guys, got a final score on one of the more intriguing games this week. James Madison may not be leaving town with a blowout victory, but they'll take a dub away from Harrisonburg every time. The Dukes have been racking up road wins since the Mickey Matthews days, and they got another one today. Regardless the outcome today, guys, these are still two quality programs. Proof the sport is as healthy as ever.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there.
That's a good example there of complementary defense. The DBs and linebackers are playing zone, they're playing their spaces, and they force the QB to have to hold the ball, try to work through his progressions, and then the pass rush, they win up front.
And the Commodores have put themselves in dire straits after that last play. It's 2nd and a mile. From the gun, the running back looking for room. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. To the air, it's Pavia. Finds his tight end. They'll stop him at the 24, and that brings up 4th down. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. They punt it away on 4th down. Hauls it in, looking for space. That nifty return sets up the offense and negates some of the yardage on the punt. Trying to start the drive with a pass. Can't hang on, and he'll tell you he really should have made that catch, and he had an opportunity right in the middle. It'll be 2nd down. Back to pass. Snagged in the middle. It's dealt. So an example of a tight end doing a little unheralded work to set up a much better third down situation.
And I like the QB here, Reese. I like the decision where I understand, let's get this football out, let's get some positive yards, and then get to third down, and we can still have a better situation.
Breaks away on the left. And he'll haul it in and take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Dogs!
You know, there's so many coaches out there in 2-minute situations at the end of the half with the lead that'll just be happy taking the lead into halftime. This guy's staying aggressive, though. Pedal to the metal, David, and you saw it paid off there for the touchdown.
And let's finish this half now. And now we got a nice lead. Built a little bit of a lead, but the defense has to go back out there. There's still a little bit of time, so get that stop to keep that momentum you just got, and everybody will be jacked up at halftime.
And with the extra point, they're now up by a touchdown and a field goal at 10. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Here we go. They'll try to get something on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Hand off from the shotgun. They'll rip off 8 on that play. It's 2nd and 2. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. Back to throw, it's Pavia. Outside the pocket, lets it go. Got his man. The offense burns its 3rd and final timeout of the half. Wants to throw on first down. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on 2nd down. Back to throw, and they've got to be aware of the clock. Nothing doing downfield. He'll cut his losses and throw it away. It'll be 3rd down. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. He'll just throw it away, and it'll be 4th down. The Commodores will bring the punt team onto the field. Not going to get a chance to field that one, and the punt will bounce out of bounds. One more play before the teams head to the locker rooms. They'll try the run. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. The offense wastes no time getting the timeout called. After picking up a couple, it's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. They make the stop, and that is the end of the first half. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Boys, you never quite know what to expect there in Nashville, and we've had a lively first half. And yes, football is a game of inches, but man, is that really the case when you consider the length of some of these possessions. Look, I'm not an analytics guy, but I do know this. The team that sustains drives and just moves the sticks might be the team that comes out on top today. And with that, let's send it back to the guys at First Bank Stadium.
Georgia will kick it deep to start the second half. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Vanderbilt has it back and heading out to go on the attack. Trailing by a couple of scores, they'd like to generate some confidence here early in the 3rd quarter.
Down 2 possessions. The coaching staff met in at halftime, and they've probably scripted this opening drive. Just like they do at the start of the game, they've now got an idea of what plays they feel most confident in, what plays their quarterback is seeing the best to go out here and execute a scoring.
Well, and it's nice to get the ball first. Like, I got the first opportunity to close the gap a little bit, apply some great game pressure to these guys. So I think getting the ball first, driving down, scoring right here would be huge.
Got his man to the left. And defense got gashed, but they finally get him to the turf at the 47. Handoff to the single back. Spins away from the defender. And he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup. And the Commodores in a good spot here with second and short. From the shotgun, they'll run it. Gets him on the ground at the 28, but not before a big 10-yard pickup. The Commodores are on the move. Gonna run it. It's Young. Fighting off the defender. He was looking for some place to put his foot in the ground, but the defense was everywhere, and he's knocked down behind the line. Motion from the back. Looking downfield, it's Pavia. Got his man on the outside. It's a fumble. And the ball is going to land out of bounds. They'll maintain possession and pick up a few yards in the process.
Well, they got a really nice drive going on offense. They're on their opponent's side of the field, but you're not going to come away with any points if you turn it over. And they've got to do a better job of ball security. Very, very lucky that ball went out of bounds.
So the officials take a closer look, and the replay booth will overturn the call. On third down, he drops to throw. Get it out to the supersonic guy. This defense makes a play, stopping him well short, and it'll be fourth down from the 24. We've reached the break, and Georgia is on top. They've done the work to build a nice cushion. Now to bring it home as we check out the stats after 3 quarters. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the fourth. And now on fourth down, they will put it on the shoulders of the kicker to save them with his foot. Good, right down the boulevard. This is now a 7-point game.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
They'll kick it away after putting up a field goal on that last drive. On the run from inside his own 5. And the return man showing great vision to be able to find some space and put his team in much better field position. He'll do it himself. Breaks into the open. They finally get him stopped, and this veteran junior running back comes up with a nice play. The offense lines up at the 40. They've got a first down. Looking to pass. It's Stockton. Got it behind the line. It's Frazier. And that play just looked to be a mess from the snap, and he's run out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage. Trying play action. Just too much heat that time, and they knock him down at the 31.
Well, this offensive line has got to do a better job. They've now given up way too many sacks. This poor quarterback is running for his life. They've got to shore up and do a better job on the offensive line.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On third and long, he'll have to turn it loose deep. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. Georgia sends out the punt team. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Catches it cleanly at the 20. They're able to put a stop to that return right at the 30-yard line. Vanderbilt has the ball again, and here comes that Commodore offense. Guys, that last trip, a little disappointing having to take the 3.
Yeah, and I think, Jesse, you see so many offenses talk about getting yards and the tempo and all the stuff they do. It was a nice job moving the football, but they got to get in the end zone this time.
Yeah, and I think to do that, they just got to be more physical at the point of attack, get some push up front. They need to be the best running team in this game to win.
And how about that play by that giant, that mountain of a man on the defensive front? Still plenty of time for this offense, but this, probably their final drive, under 2 minutes to play. Out of the shotgun on third down. Got a man, it's Alexander. He's going to come up a couple of yards short of the first down. Down a possession here in the fourth, and they'll need to convert on this fourth down. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the first down. They convert the fourth down, but back to the line with no time to waste. Caught in the backfield, it's Alexander. They're dealing with a second and long.
No gain on the play.
Back to pass, it's Pavia. Just a short pass to the tight end. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain. On third and long, he has to throw for it. Pulls it in, it's Hoskins. They'll make the stop about a yard short of the first down.
Coming up, fourth down.
On fourth down, going to the air. Unloads it left. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. And they'll get him down after a solid return.
By Georgia.
And that is a backbreaker. It's fourth down, though. Listen, you got to throw the football. You got to try to make a play. But the defense came up big in a big moment.
Good field to start this drive at their own 47. One back in the backfield, and they'll give it to him. Oh, he's got some space. They stop him at the 42, but they get it across midfield, pick up 10 and the first down. Georgia trying to finish the deal and run out the clock. Might as well run him until they stop him. He's got it again. He's loose on the left. And he slipped through the crowd, and he'll house it. Touchdown, Georgia! They tack a little more onto this lead, and they're on their way to a 3-0 start.
Well, they get the touchdown when they needed it most. That score now makes it a two-possession game, and guys, with just seconds to go on the game clock, this thing is all but over.
Getting set for the point after. And the extra point is true, and they have a 2-touchdown lead, up 14 in the fourth. We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
Gentlemen, that pivotal top 15 battle is in the books. Here's how things went down. SMU notched a victory in enemy territory, and though it wasn't a dominant win, I'd argue any win away from Dallas is worth its weight in gold to the Mustangs.
Grabbed in the backfield, it's Alexander.
No cupcakes this week, fellas. This top 15 battle was much anticipated, and at least one side can say it's a game they'll savor for some time.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Snagged on the outside, it's Richardson. Just picked up 3 yards, but he did get out of bounds to try to save every precious second. Picked off, what a play to set him up. The defense making a play to put an exclamation point on this one, and that ought to do it.
And that's kind of what this offense has done all day. They have struggled. They haven't gotten a rhythm. They haven't found a way to get points on the scoreboard. And late in this game, when your defense and your team really needed it the most, Palmer, they throw the INT.
And it's a microcosm, too, of just how dominant the defense has been. They've always been a step ahead. They've been the more physical side, and they've been making plays on the back end. That interception should seal this thing.
And they'll take a knee on fourth down, happy with their performance so far, and they'll turn it over in the waning moments. Sometimes it's just not your day. Things just didn't work, and that seemed to be the case here.
Yeah, they didn't get the W. They didn't do enough. But now you start to think about, what could I have done differently? What do I need to become more offensively? Defensively, what can I morph into to make those extra plays, Jesse? That might be the difference in the next game that I play.
Yeah, David, they just need a little bit more. They need a little bit better effort next week. They're going to need better preparation this week in practice. There's no doubt this team has a lot of talent, but we just need a little bit more to ensure that this doesn't happen next week again.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.